I wanted to tell you something about Shivanath Shastri. When you're talking, Shivanath Shastri gave a lecture in our place, in our college. And he said at that time that he went to visit Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna showed him the cancer in his throat. And he said, "Look, I am suffering from this, and they say that I am an avatar." You see, to him he said that way. That is according to the condition of his mind. And then when Swami Turiyananda went to see him, he said to him, "Look, Hari, I suffer from this." And then Swami Turiyananda said, "I don't see you suffering. You are living in the bliss of Brahman all the time." And he said, "Oh, that rascal got me already." And now again this Shivanath Shastri began to meditate at Bhubaneswar, where Maharaj also had a monastery. And there somebody came and complained that they are not coming to Brahma Samaj now, they are all going to Belur Math, the young boys. Then Shivanath said, "Why should they not? What have you got? Have you got that ideal of renunciation that these boys have?" So again Shivanath changed. Alright, now read the questions.
In your book, The Eternal Companion, the question is raised. Maharaj is the Kundalini awakened by the grace of the Guru. And the answer begins, through the grace of the Guru, everything can be had, even the knowledge of Brahman. My question is it taxing for the Guru to give realization to his disciples?
Is it? What is that?
Is it taxing? Is it exhausting for the Guru? Is it a strain on the Guru to give realization to his disciples?
I'll answer that. When I first joined the monastery, I followed Maharaj all day practically. And then when he went to his bed and I was massaging him, and I said, "Maharaj, give me samadhi." And in answer to that, "You are very impatient, my boy." So that's the answer I should give.
There's one more sentence in this question, Swami.
Yeah.
How can the disciple get this grace from the Guru?
The disciples have always the grace of the Guru. There is a saying of Maharaj, and also is a general saying which Maharaj quoted. You have the grace of Guru, you have the grace of Krishna, that is God. You have the grace of the devotees of God, but for the grace of your own mind, you may be ruined. So you need the grace of your own mind also. Have you got your answer? Grace of your own mind means, are you struggling? Are you practicing what your Guru told you to do? All right, next.
And no more questions, Swami.
Huh?
No more written questions.
Oh, no more written questions. All right, now free for all.
No, Swami, when we have the grace of our own mind, then there shouldn't be any questions anymore.
Huh?
When we have the grace of our own mind, then there shouldn't be any questions anymore.
No, that's it. If you practice, you see, Maharaj, when we complain to Maharaj anything, about anything, he would say, practice, 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 meditate, meditate, meditate. And then come and tell me that you are not getting anywhere.
Swami,
Yes.
if one dreams of one's guru, does it have a deeper significance that might be apparent to that person?
Yes, you see, the dream of a guru is very good. If one dreams, generally such dreams come earlier in the morning. That is known to be visitation.
But it might not have any meaning to you necessarily from what the dream is, other than just the presence. I mean, as far as interpreting it or trying to get it.
Don't try to interpret. When you go to analyze anything, you spoil. Just you remember that you had a vision of your Guru.
Swami, would you tell us the story about Maharaj encountering the bull?
Huh?
Would you tell us the story about Maharaj encountering the bull and how he calmed it?
Oh yes. In Madras, Maharaj was going, and then two of us boys, young boys, following him. And then there's a mad bull coming, and everybody from the home on both sides saying, get away, this is a mad bull. And so in order to protect Maharaj, we two young boys went in front of him to save him. But Maharaj did like that, and we were just like feathers. And we were back of him again. And then he looked at the bull, and the bull did like that for a moment, and then moved away. I didn't see this, but I've heard that a leopard was at Bhubaneswar. In Bhubaneswar you have leopards in the forest. A leopard was there. And Maharaj with some others were traveling, walking. And this leopard was about to jump or something. Maharaj simply looked at him for a moment, and then the leopard went away. Of course, such gurus are rare, as you heard today, those who are ever free souls. And six of the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, monastic disciples, were ever free souls. So such gurus are rare.
What's an ever free soul?
Eh?
What is an ever free soul?
That is, they are not reincarnation of souls like us who were at one time bound, and then through the grace of Guru we become free.
Swami, is not the Guru power the same power though, regardless?
Right? It is handed down from generation to generation.
Swami, when the next avatar is born,
Huh?
will these same free souls come with him?
Yes. For instance, when Sri Ramakrishna came, he brought with him that were with Christ, that were with Krishna, that was also with Buddha, like that. He brought everybody this time.
Swami, it's often been said that self-surrender is the last word in spiritual life. But from where we are, spiritually undeveloped,
No.
what is the way and how do you do it? Or what should
No,
you
I
do?
would say, though it is the last word, but make the end also the means. Learn to surrender yourself for 5 seconds even.
Now, what does that mean, Swami? In daily life, what do you mean by self-surrender?
In daily life,
Giving in to everybody?
no.
Well,
You
surrender.
see that didn't you hear that story of the snake?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Why don't you pay attention to those?
But the question that I have is that you can bite someone, snap at someone, let's say.
Not bite.
Not bite, but snap.
Yeah.
Or hiss, as you say. But that person's mind may be such that it may do them injury.
Look, I gave example how Maharaj could tame a leopard, tame a mad bull. If somebody wants to harm you, if you can learn to see God in him, immediately that will go away.
There's only one problem there. I'm not Maharaj.
No, you don't have to be Maharaj, but try to see God in your enemy also. Nobody is your enemy. Holy Mother used to say, nobody is a stranger. Everybody is your own. Try to make everybody your own. These were our last words, last teachings. Nobody is a stranger. You know, at one time, during the Swadeshi movement, that is when we wanted to get rid of England, then we would not buy any cloth made in Manchester. You know, cloth from Manchester used to come to India. And then Holy Mother asked one of the disciples to buy a cloth from Manchester. Then this young man said, "But Mother, we have boycotted." Then Mother said, "You may boycott, but I cannot boycott. They are also my children." You see?
If I feel that someone very close to me has hurt me in my heart,
Yeah.
how should I take it to the Lord?
Huh?
How should I take it to the Lord?
Think of him as the Lord.
But if I do, then I feel like the Lord is hurting me.
Yeah. So think of the Lord.
Well, if I do that, I feel like the Lord is making me feel bad.
Huh?
Then I feel like the Lord is making me feel bad.
Why?
Because it hurts in my heart.
Oh, well, if he's in your heart, why would he make you feel bad? Then you have made him your very own. That's very good. Keep him within your heart. All right, anybody? No, you have plenty time. You have to use the time fruitfully.
Swami, coming back to self-surrender just for a moment.
Oh, self-surrender, forget now. Once I've answered, try to grasp that.
Swami, what if you start falling asleep in meditation? What should you do?
Keep your eyes open. Meditate with eyes closed and meditate with eyes open.
Swami, how do you meditate with your eyes open?
I don't see how you cannot. No. Your eyes are open, but where is your mind? The eyes are not, mind is not in your eyes. Mind has to be placed here. So why can't you? When you close your eyes, do you think you are
No.
And then, of course, there is what Sri Ramakrishna said. You see, I have seen Maharaj, and Maharaj said to me at one time, you know, I see God everywhere. I see God in a good man, in a holy man, in a bad man, in the lustful man, and I see God in everyone, then I cannot teach. But I come down from that state, and then I see your mistakes and try to correct you.
Swami, could you tell us a little about Swami Subodhananda?
About
Swami Subodhananda?
Swami who?
Subodhananda?
Swami Prabhavananda. Yes, Swami Prabhavananda loved me and another friend of mine very much. And he used to tell us many of his experiences. I tell you one experience. He was practicing austerity in Rishikesh in a small cottage, and he got high fever. And then Sri Ramakrishna came to him and was putting his hand over his head. And Swami Prabhavananda, his name was Khoka, that is baby. He came when he was 14 years old. And as he came, Sri Ramakrishna said, "Don't you come from such and such family?" And then he said, "Yes, but how did you know?" "Well, I knew that you will be born in that family 30 years before you were born." Now, about this story, then Sri Ramakrishna said, "Shall I send you a good doctor?" No. "Keep me in this fever so that you will be sitting by me." And then, of course, the vision disappeared and he was cured also. Then, one time, you see, I used to stay in the same room. There were 1, 2, 3, 4 beds were there in one. And I used to stay in one bed. But one evening as I came, I saw that was occupied by somebody whom Swami Brahmananda brought. Then Swami Prabhavananda said, "You come and stay in my bed." And then of course I went, but I could not sleep all night, fearing that my foot or anything would touch his body. So I was very careful not to fall asleep. And then he was asked to give a lecture at Belur Math by Swamiji. And as soon as he stood, there was an earthquake. And so Swamiji said, "You see, when Khoka stood there to speak, he had such power that he shook the earth." Then another time, another story I know. Maharaj and Swami Prabhavananda, these three were sleeping in one large bed. Swamiji was meditating. And then he said, "Khoka, could you bring some tobacco for me?" And so he made the tobacco ready and brought to him. And as Swamiji was smoking, very much pleased with him, and he said, "Khoka, I want to give you a boon." "What boon can I could I ask of you? I have got everything that I wanted from Sri Ramakrishna. Why should I ask any boon? No, you have to accept some boon. Then Maharaj said, Koka, Swamiji is in a mood now. Ask something. He was very fond of tea. And so he said, all right, Swamiji, if you give me any boon, give me this boon, that wherever I may be, under what condition I may be, that I may get a cup of tea. And then I asked him, did it happen always? He said, yes. Only one time in the Himalayas as he was traveling, in the evening, it got evening and still he had no tea. And then suddenly saw some people with a light sitting together. So he went to them and he said, hey, there is a cup of tea for you. He was so fond of tea, He used to serve tea to everybody. The day I was to take Brahmacharya, vows of Brahmacharya, you are supposed to not take anything but fast all day. And then Koka Maharaj said, oh, it doesn't matter if you take a cup of tea. And so I went like that, and here comes down Maharaj. Hey, what's that? There is a saying, there is a slip between cup and lip. And so I didn't tell him that Koka Maharaj gave me or anything. So I left it. And then again, in the afternoon, about 1 o'clock, as I went to Maharaj, he said, you look very bad. Go and take some prasadi fruits. So you see. Well?
Swami, may I
Yeah.
make one of these announcements? This is just a reminder that there will be kirtan Friday evening at 8 p.m. in the temple, and all are welcome. And again is repeated an appeal which was made last week, but now there are more people here, due to the fact that the new convent buildings will be started before very long. There's a great deal of work to be done in the meanwhile, particularly quite a lot of painting, and also some...
Not in the convent, but in the...
Not in the convent, no.
Rooms that the girls will have to move.
And so able-bodied male devotees are asked to volunteer, especially for the weekends they're required, to Gauri Prana. Anybody who feels they have the time to do that.
So the girls are free from that. Anything more?